Okay, good evening, YouTube. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far, or a wonderful end of the day if you're in the Americas, my side of the world. Today, 22nd of March, has been the first day where I've entered a half hermit, half action taking mode. 22 represents the master number of what I call the master intuitive, where the energy of 22 requires one to be heavily dependent on the softness, the reflectiveness, the sensitivity, and the developing sense of connection to the environment, and using that to reflect the outside for those that need to see it in a very authentic way. And in terms of guidance through the 22, it's a potent energy where when you are in tune with your intuition and you really surrender and trust it, even when intuition sometimes leads you in a direction which defies logic, but the heart and the soul isn't confined by logic or reason. That's only in our mind. And so I've noticed challenges coming up with the idea of intuition and just trying to discern between which voices in my head are actually just voices in my head and what is truly coming from the heart. And that's an ongoing practice. And so today being a 35-8, I hope my stream yesterday brought some awareness to the idea of financial topic being potentially a subject of, what's the word? A subject of occurrence in the day. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. Anything around the topic of money, abundance, manifestation, being able to create as a result of having that clarity and wisdom from the 7 energy the day before, into really putting it into action, putting all those lessons into action to create in the physical realm. And so yeah, I went into a little rabbit hole in my mind there, only because I'm starting to notice how quickly these cycles are starting and ending. Like tomorrow is already a 9 life path day. 23rd of March is a 36-9. And got the 369 as the completion, is the perfect ending of a cycle numerologically. The 3, 6, and the 9. 9 being the most sacred number, I would say, in mathematics and in the world of numbers, numerology. I won't go too deep into why that is, but I'm sure if you just do a little bit of research, if you don't know already why 9 is such a potent number, you'll find a lot of interesting topics. Interesting for me anyway. And so 9 representing the end of a cycle, and this 2 being a 336-9, meaning in my mind the 369 cycle, all the more potent. There's a lot of potent energies that are converging, and today being a master number day, today 22nd of March being a master number day, as well as huge end of a cycle coming tomorrow. It's like, okay, what does 9 really represent? What is it here to teach me? It's the end of a cycle. It's the wisdom from the entire cycle. It's the ability to see the bigger picture and hold a level of compassion through that bird's eye view, or the perspective of the bigger picture that others may not see. And just be wary of ends of cycles, because one way or another, whatever you need to truly let go needs to be let go. Otherwise, carrying this energy into the next cycle only makes that letting go process even more brutal. It's about having the discernment and connection to our intuition and our heart to set really strong boundaries with everything that doesn't align with our highest purpose and the direction that we want to move in. It needs to be cut out. And this is the hardest part of the human experience, is cutting emotions, letting emotions go, releasing that attachment that we have to emotions tied to stories from our past. And so 9 for me is really starting to represent the ability to hold strong boundaries with yourself. That's the hardest part. It's like understanding, okay, what are the routines? What are the things that I'm doing that are actually holding me back? What are my thought processes that are actually limiting? How can I reshape the language that I use for myself and recognize aspects of myself that are holding me back? And really, it comes down to just noticing your thoughts a lot more and not being so lost in the mind, and just recognizing thoughts for what they are, and understand that you are not your thoughts. The thoughts come and go. That doesn't make you who you are, although they have a huge component in shaping your reality, because our thoughts influence our emotions, which influence our actions. And it's only through our actions does the external reality reflect what we're putting out. And so fundamentally, it comes down to our thoughts. And it's incredibly important to be very mindful of the language you use to yourself, and notice any sorts of belief systems that you've attached yourself to, that you can maybe notice from a third person perspective as to what is that entity, what is that, how is this belief system actually serving me? How is it benefiting me to believe something that fundamentally is what I notice is holding me back? And usually the answer to that is fear and familiarity of that known sensation that we've been carrying for so long. And that's the hardest part, is like, how do we actually let go of that? But like, that's a deeper topic I'd love to get into one day, but I don't want this to be a whole 20-minute transmission. But for me, I am in the process of really connecting with my intuition more and more every day, noticing the resistances that come up when it comes to taking action towards something, or persevering and staying consistent even through moments of wanting to stop or wanting to do something else. Like, really, that is the scattered mind trying to keep us from really fulfilling what it is we're here to do, which requires a lot of discipline and consistency. And the reason why there is resistance to it is because it's uncomfortable stepping into that, through that consistency, through that showing up, and not knowing what's going to happen and how the external world is going to reflect your actions. Is a scary thought. And I can totally see why people find comfort in a repeated daily routine. I just know that I also want a good, stable daily routine, but on my terms. And if I am to do that with true freedom, which is what I desire, which is what I choose, then I'm going to have to unmold all of the restrictions and limitations that I've been holding on to, and work through them, and still show up and take action every day, and still be in the process of constantly working on myself, recognizing ways in which I'm holding myself back, and diving deeper into it. I feel more expansive. And it's a constant process, as I'm sure you'll appreciate too. This process never really ends. There's no end goal. In fact, being on this process of self-awareness and being tapped into this knowing that, okay, you're here to achieve something, you're here to do something. And we all have a spark. I strongly believe that. And we all have our inner genius that's yearning to be expressed. And I'm fortunate enough where I'm in a place where I'm able to do that. And it's a privilege, and I'm very lucky, and I count my blessings every day. but it's not easy. But what is actually easy? There's nothing worth getting that is easy. And so which hard do you choose? This is the one that I've chosen, and it's hard. This lifestyle is not easy, but this is exactly what I want. These are the experiences that I'm having that are going to shape the rest of my life, and I'm here for it. And so for tomorrow, wrap up any loose ends that you have, complete any projects or any conversations that need closing. Be wary of not seeking justice through a sense of destruction. That could feel very natural to do. With the energy of the night, with the end of a cycle, there's a lot of transmutation happening. There's a lot of destruction and creation happening at the same time. 9 is actually the end of a cycle and simultaneously the start of another. And so it's really important to maintain that sense of clarity of the bigger picture, who you're really here to serve, understand that everything is operating under the state of love and operating through your heart. And you really must connect with your heart more and more. It's so easy to be lost in the mind, and I know that so much, and I'm constantly working through that every day. And so be generous, be merciful, and really use your discernment to hold strong boundaries with yourself and with others if necessary. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that transition. Master number energies are super intense, I'm noticing for me. But it could just be also the lake. It's a lot of intense energy happening here, which is why I am here. Okay, I bid you all good night, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down in the comment section. And I will be sure to reply to them. And until next time, until tomorrow, good night.